Welcome back. In the Crossfire tonight, Senator Jon Tester and Roger Wicker. We expect the Senate to approve the bipartisan budget deal tomorrow. Lots of people aren't happy with it, but there's an old saying, I could have come up with a better agreement all by myself, but unfortunately, there was somebody sitting across the table. When somebody's sitting across the table, you have to compromise. The thing is, you can tell how much the economic debate has moved to the far right when Paul Ryan, the guy Governor Romney chose to be his running mate, the guy who he showed was his to show off his severely conservative credentials. Well, let me just tell you, Paul Ryan is now seen as the reasonable, moderate deal maker. The Republicans just keep moving the marker. Senator Wicker, you know, there's a little fight right now in the Republican family. I'm giving SE a couple of aspirins.
Join the club.
Look, SE, I've been giving her aspirins, a leave. I'm going to move to something stronger as soon as Jon Tester give me something. But you got to tell us what's going on. I mean, the Republicans are now upset with Paul Ryan and John Boehner. Are you upset with them as well?
Well, they didn't seem that upset in the House. I think everybody voted for it over there except about 90 folks. Listen, I like and admire Paul Ryan. I wanted to make him Vice President of the United States, and I think he'd make a good president.
Amen.
Someday. I think John Boehner has done an admirable job in a very tough crowd. I don't want to harp on this one provision with the military, but here's what I don't think they thought about. They made all these tough choices, and they made all of them prospective except for one, and that's what they did to the military retirees. Maybe we can go back and fix it. But that's my objection. I don't really mind the fact that Paul Ryan and John Boehner had to make some very tough choices. And I think it was a good idea probably to save money on the mandatory side, put a little money on the appropriation side, and get us past this government shutdown. We're not quite there yet. We still got to pass bills in January.
So you believe John Boehner is right to tell these outside groups to just shut up, butt out, and take it out?
I think John Boehner made a very good point.
All right, Senator Tester, I want to move off the budget just for a minute and do more broad scope politics. The president's trust when it comes to the economy is shot. Take a look at this poll out today. A year ago, his handling of the economy polling at 54%, now 41. Not only is the president down 13 points, but Republicans are up 9. How do you explain that?
Well, I think that, look, there's some good things happening in the economy. I see, you know that. I mean, unemployment is down to 7%. Well, that's not acceptable.
So I keep hearing the economy's great. So where are these numbers coming from?
I think it came out because of the rocky rollout of the health care bill. But the bottom.
But why would? But let me just add. Why would people trust him less on the economy because of a rocky website?
Well, I think it blends across all issues.
So then, wouldn't you be concerned that Obamacare is going to hurt you guys over the next year?
Because it will.
Well, I'm having trouble following this train of thought then.
10, 11 months in politics is a lifetime. And I'm telling you, look at the 1st of October, how things have changed. Between the 1st of October, when the Tea Party Republicans were pushing the shutdown, the whole Republican brand went down. Guess what? You have a rocky rollout of Obamacare, of health care. They go up, Democrats go down. This surge is going to happen between now and Election Day time and time again. Bottom line is this. In Congress, we need to focus on moving the economy forward. We need to focus on doing the things we need to give certainty so businesses create jobs. If we do that, the unemployment issue goes away and everybody's happy. And I will tell you that everybody can get credit for this if we work together, both Democrats and Republicans, and then may the best man win come November.
So you're not worried that President Obama's approval numbers are going to affect Democrats in 2015?
Not at all. In my election in 2012, the folks, the third party, dark money, whatever you want to call it, tried to tie me to President Obama time and time again. He isn't exactly endeared in Montana, and it didn't work. Bottom line is we're all individuals. We all represent great states, and we work for this country. And we just need to do the right thing, move the economy forward. And we will see incredible growth because I've said from the get-go, the biggest boat anchor on this economy is Congress. doing nothing, obstructionism, filibusters, time and time again. Now we're starting to see some things move. Hopefully we'll get a farm bill right out the first year. Should have been done 6 months ago, but what the heck? We'll get it right done.
Hey,
right
one
out
step
the
at a
first
time.
year. Exactly. Get the budget done, and I think it starts to give people confidence back in their government.
Senator Wicker, as you well know, there's a civil war brewing inside the Republican Party, almost as big as the last civil war.
Oh, come on.
Well,
That's
on.
not true.
Oh, I'm going to exaggerate a little bit myself. I mean,
This is wishful thinking.
well, let me have a little bit.
Your part.
It's the season of wishes. So let me give Santa.
wish.
Let me give Santa everything I have. So I mean, Mitch McConnell has an opponent on the far right. Lindsey Graham has an opponent, and of course your colleague and someone I also consider a friend, Ted Cochran, has an opponent on the far right. So you have all of these Republicans now pointing at senators, calling them rhinos, Republicans in name only. Is it going too far? Is there a purity test now in the Republican Party that some of your colleagues cannot meet?
The people who say that about those 3 senators are, yes, they're going too far. But I don't know that that means there's a civil war. You know, it's a free country, and it doesn't cost much to file for senator, and so you can't blame somebody for giving it a shot. I think all 3 of those, Cochran, McConnell, and Graham, will be renominated, and when they are, they'll be reelected. So, you know, this sort of thing happens.
So you're not afraid that this civil war, I still believe it's a civil war because you have the far right now pointing fingers at the so-called conservatives. So I never thought I would see this day. Are you sure that your colleagues can somehow or another beat back this challenge from the far right?
Wish on.
All right.
Let's go back to that poll today on the front page of the Washington Post. This is shaping up to be a disastrous 10 months coming up for the Democratic Party.
Boy,
and it may be partly,
Oh, man.
it may be partly 6-year itch, which happens to presidential terms, but I think it comes back to Obamacare. It's not just the rollout.
But you
It's a
forget Ronald
broken
Reagan.
promise. You can keep your policy, period.
Oh.
And you know, to the extent that we break a solemn promise like that, it's been done in other
Senator
administrations.
I would
And it,
Senator Tester knows that these waters may be turbulent, but most Democrats will be able to survive.
I
don't know.
honestly think that and this is a fact, I honestly believe this, that when the health care bill come November, it's going to be a plus for Democrats. Why? Because the website's working. You're going to see people get on and actually save money. It does some real positive things for access. It does positive things for hospitals, especially rural hospitals that won't have to be giving out as much charity care. I think when this gets done, that people are going to see the real advantage
But
of it. In the
Senator
meantime,
Tester, isn't it
there's been some
dependent
problems.
upon getting young, healthy people
You bet.
on? And they are not getting on the website. President
too
Obama
early to
is
say that.
losing millennials in droves. They're moving to the center. They're not impressed with Washington or President Obama. It's not just a problem for Obamacare and that sign-up. It's a problem for the Democratic Party. That's a key demographic for you guys.
I think it's too early to say that. You know, and I meet with young people a couple times a month to talk about them, and I am encouraged by their perspective and their worldview. I think they're going to sign up when they find out what the costs are. We're talking about bills less than a cell phone bill.
But they're
a month.
more than they were
But
paying before, which
they
was
weren't
nothing.
paying anything.
Exactly.
And
They
it
were
was-
freeloaders. They were showing up in the emergency
They're
room.
more responsible
You have
than
to
that, and I have full
convince. No, you have
confidence
to
in them.
convince a demographic to buy something they've never traditionally bought, and for more than they would have before. How does that work?
And you can help with that, SC.
I will not help with
by
that.
talking about the facts as it applies to healthcare. You can't have healthcare delivered by emergency rooms
Right.
and have that be sustainable for folks who don't have any insurance and don't pay their bills. I can give you an example of plenty of folks out there that have. I got a family of 4 that saved $500 a month. $500 a month when they went on the website and got it.
John, when it's
Farming
all
family.
said and done,
Yeah.
there's still going to be 30 million Americans uninsured. And I don't know what rural hospitals you're talking to, but the ones I talk to from Mississippi are apoplectic about what this health.
I can tell you
Your
that the
state,
rural
yeah.
hospitals and
Yeah.
their charity care will put them out
And
of
they're-
business, and they know it under the current system. And that's what this healthcare was
Senator
about.
Wicker,
not what
there's
they tell me.
still-
They
There's
crunch the
still
numbers.
200,000 people in Mississippi who can get access to health care if we expand the eligibility for Medicaid in Mississippi.
Okay,
So we
well,
need to help them out, too.
We're going to see how this all plays out. We've got 9 months. Stay here next. The final question for both of our guests. We also want you at home to weigh in on today's fireback question. Will Congress be more or less productive next year? Tweet more or less using hashtag Crossfire. We'll have the results after the break.